Because, all right, you know, there's no reason why we should have to rush to get something done. So, y'all probably won't get a video of a finished bedroom wall. And you got to remember, there's still 2 more to do even when I get this one finished. Till Saturday. So, let me tell you what's happened. Okay, first, number 1. I went to visit my friend this morning from the school. Sat and visited with her for a little while. Got caught up on things. I felt like she needed, you know, sometimes you just need, you know, women can be so catty. We can. Sometimes you just need somebody that gets you, you know. And so I already told y'all, you know, she was, well, actually, you know what? Did I tell y'all that? Because I don't even know if I was talking about that in a video of the wall being worked on. But anyway, regardless, I went to see her this morning. And then I had an appointment that I had to go to. So anyway, I got home and then I went down to Mom's and we took her tree down because she bought a tree last year at end of, you know, after Christmas. Brought that down and she was all excited to see it. And she's seen it once because she took it out of the box and put it in a bag. Because she thought a bag would be easier. I feel the boxes are easier to keep. I mean, if you tear a box up, okay, then fine. Maybe you need a bag for your tree. But boxes are just, I mean, maybe you could shove a bunch of stuff against the bag because the tree just gets smaller as you push on it to a degree when you start shoving stuff around it in the closet. But I don't know. I just feel like the box just is the box, you know, and then you stack around the box. Anyway, she'd already taken it out of the box, I guess last year or after Christmas, early part of this year, and put it in a tree bag. And then she couldn't find it. And she brings the tree out and sits it on the porch as we were going to open it on the porch. And I said, Mom, is that the tree? This was a gnome. This was like the bottom of a tree, but the top of the tree is a gnome. And Mama says the most funny things. And she goes, maybe I just used this box for my tree. And I said, well, do you have this gnome tree somewhere? And she goes, yeah, I have it somewhere. And I said, Mom, what would make you take the gnome out of his own box and put the tree in the gnome box? And she goes, I don't know. Let me see. So she hollers upstairs because Bennett's supposedly up there. She hollers. He don't answer her. She says, Bennett, would you look in the closet up there and see if there's a Christmas tree? He never responds. You know, Bennett is Bennett. So I have to go to the stairs and do my loud, angry voice at the top of my lungs. And then he comes and looks down at me. You know, kids can sort of ignore grandma. Aunt Kim can let out a scream that sounds like a banshee. And then I said, did you hear Mom? She knew. He goes, whose mom? And I said, my mom. He goes, oh, well, that's not my mom. Like he's trying to be silly. Okay, whatever. And I said, Bennett, would you see if the Christmas tree is in that closet? He brings the tree down. It is in the closet and it's in a bag. And I said, Mom, you've already opened this tree and looked at it at some point because it's in a bag. And she goes, I remember putting it in the bag. I don't remember what it looks like though, but I can just see it. It's just going to be like 3 foot tall. It's going to sit on a table. And I'm going to have my nativity scene in front of it on the table. And I'm looking at that bag and I'm thinking, what? I haven't unzipped the bag, but I feel like by looking at it, it's got more tree in there than 3 foot. Open the bag. It is a 6-foot tree. It is heavily flocked. I mean, heavily flocked. And there is snow everywhere on the porch floor. Because, you know, the first few, sometimes maybe all the way up until you get rid of one or whatever, they always lose some flocking. But I have found in the past, although Levo doesn't like me to have a flock tree, this tree, mine is, this year it's flocked. But it's lightly flocked, like the tips just got, but the tree is green, but the tips just got a little snow on them. But the more, honestly, the more expensive the tree, the less flocking you lose. It's just what it is. You know, they just do them cheap. They spray that flock on or dip them or whatever they do to them. And that stuff is everywhere. And I told her, I said, well, Mom, you may lose every time you put it out of the bag and you give it a good shake before you put it together. Do it on the porch because it's still not a big tree. It's not a real wide tree. And she was, I hate it. I wish I hadn't. I don't know what was in my mind. You always talk about a flock tree. I guess I wanted a flock tree. And I'm just like, you're not blaming this on me. Dad's sitting down there smiling because he knows Mom is Looney Tunes half the time. And I said, Dad, do you like a little tree or a big tree? He goes, I'm just happy with whatever your mom is happy with. And so I said, okay, Mom, why don't we see if we can just use the 2 sections at the top? Take the bottom. It's just, no, put the top on the bottom. And I said, Mom, it's not going to work that way because, you know, they come up in sections. And I said, the middle, so I did what she asked. Okay, I pulled the top off and I pulled the middle section out, sat it down, set the top back on the bottom section. You understand what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3. I moved 2 and sat 3 on top of 1. It looked ridiculous because it comes up at it and it's this wide and it's ready for the next section that would start out that wide and go smaller. But instead, we get this little tiny section. I said, Mom, look, there's this big gap. You can see it. It's like a shelf right here. I mean, you could see it. A line. And I said, it has to be, if you want it shorter, then we have to do it the other way. We have to do this middle section as your base, and then the top is still the top. And those 2 sections will meet right. I did that. Well, so it made it about a 4-foot tree, maybe. Or 3.5, 4-foot tree. And I said, well, this don't look bad. She goes, no, that don't look bad. And she sits there and she looks at it. Then she gets up and she starts, it had the hinged, which was good. It had the hinge. Now you have to remember, she got it after Christmas. So there was like, you know, I don't even know if we were on the 75% off or the 50% off at that time. But she got a decent priced tree, half or even 75% off. And it had the hinged arms, the hinged branches. So she made them all lay like they're supposed to. Then she started opening the ends. Then she sat down and she goes, I hate it. I don't know why I did it. And I said, okay. I said, let me see if Tina wants it. I gave Tina a tree last year for her class. It was the old tree that I used at the daycare. So I sent her a text, because you know, she's in class. Sent her a text. It was about an hour and a half later. Well, yeah, because I was already back home. But she said yes, she wanted it. So I called Mom and I said, Tina says she wants. Dissa is everywhere. Anyway, she was happy because she didn't want anybody to just to say, well, I don't really like it, but I'll use it for my class. You know, that kind of, Anyway. So I did that with Mom, got home, and then I started out there because I still had a few of the short pieces that go in on my wall, but between the, the door, bedroom door, and the closet door. This little 1-foot sections. It seemed like every cut I had to measure. Every cut was a different measurement from the time before. I don't know how, because I put that level against the trim, and it said it was level. I put the level against the trim, it says it's level, but every cut in between, it seemed like it was a different number off by one ditty or so, but it was different every time. Anyway, I've got it all the way up now to where the very last board to go in will be the long one that goes across. And I'm going to see if I can get Daniel to do it. Because I've got two boards that will go the whole length of that room. Actually, I'll have to cut a little bit of it off. So he's really good because, you know, Daniel is so precise. I mean, he is so precise, and he can make that cut against the trim. Then he can bring it, you know, then he can drop it down and bring it against, and then go down. And I don't know. I feel like Daniel's very, very precise with his stuff. So the only thing before I do that is to get the far end down there. And I know a lot of you guys said, make that little alcove some kind of shelving, open shelving or something, extra storage. I don't need any extra storage. I've got ladies on my, you know, you guys out there that are very opinionated about the fact that I have too much in my house. And if I would get rid of stuff, my house would be prettier. And you're preaching to the choir, because I know I got a lot of stuff. I don't want to go get more stuff to like put shelves in there and then have to fill it up with knickknacks. I don't want to do that. So in my, you know, I'm just going to close it so it's just gone. It's just wall. So I did go out and get a 2x4 and put it at the end of the closet, so I have a little bit of a lip, a piece of wood running down to screw the next set of, you know, siding boards to. And then down there at the corner, they'll just go to the wall. But here where that alcove is, it needed something to screw them to. So anyway, I did that. But I'm not finished. So I thought that Daniel and I were going to work on his chicken coop this evening. And then I was going to get him to give me 30 minutes, 45 minutes and do that board. And I was going to try to throw those other ones up real fast. But then I called him. And I said, hey, what time you going to be home? Thinking he'll sell, you know, an hour, and you'll get started in an hour. He's mowing. He's already home, and he's mowing. And him and Lou were going to dinner this evening with friends. So he couldn't work on his chicken coop this evening. So I didn't even say anything to him about this board. I'm just going to wait to the day that we're actually working on his coop and get this board out of him. So anyway, the other news. So, you know, I found this awesome deal on this table, and I'm sitting on it right now. And it's beautiful, and I love it. And I'm so happy that, you know, because I've vented, you know, I have vented about people that don't answer on Marketplace. And look, I come across those gates. Praise God. What? That's awesome. 2 gates. 2 10-foot gates for $100. Not $100 each. $50 each. $130 gates. And I got them for $50 a piece. 2 gates. Awesome. Then I come across this table. And praise God I had a mat, because just when I noticed that he'd already made 3 or 4 little marks with his pen, I remembered I had his mat from his old desk. And I've ordered a new one that it's going to be brown, so it's going to blend in with this. I know several people said well, 2 people. Somebody said get a piece of glass and cover it, and I could put pictures. I kind of like that idea, but then also I feel like that's real busy for me. I just feel like that's just like as many sometimes crappy things I do, or building things I'm doing. I'm not real, to me that's tedious, you know, changing pictures around or finding pictures. I have to print out pictures. We don't even hardly have printed pictures anymore. I'd go down to Mom's and get a bunch of pictures from when we were babies, and then maybe put some older ones in there that I'd have printed. I just like, that's too much. So I just feel like the mat, because they were saying with the glass, you would never have to worry about it. But I feel like with the mat, it's going to be fine. Okay, so the only other thing that I've really been wanting, that I've been watching Marketplace for, Now, if I could find a farmhouse sink in an amount of money that I could afford, it would be awesome, but you just can't. So I have been looking for now my sink in the kitchen right now is porcelain over cast iron. And it's the two basins, the two sinks, you know, the split in the middle. I have wanted a single basin sink forever. Probably wanted a farmhouse sink or a single basin when I put this sink in. I don't think I bought this sink new when I got this house. I think somebody either had it or I found it on Craigslist. I may have found it on I don't remember Marketplace being that big back then, but I may have found it on Marketplace. I don't remember. But I needed a sink. I wanted farmhouse. This was pretty close to farmhouse, so I went with this. And my faucet, it's probably Glacier Bay or something like that. It's not the expensive brand faucet. And what has been happening lately, for now, I guess for about the last 2 or 3 months, and I keep a dish towel rolled up like in a tube behind my faucet, between my faucet and my wall, because my faucet, where it comes out of the base and then up into the gooseneck, there's a washer in there that I think is broke or split or something, and when the water's off and you're not using it, I don't ever see water. But when you turn the hot or the cold on, you see this little bead of water start forming around that base. And I change the dish towel out probably about once a week. Take it out, put a new one in, wash it, you know, dry it and get ready. And I try to keep it sort of red so it kind of blends with the dark back there anyway. I've known I've needed to fix it, and I really didn't want to get a new faucet till I had a new sink. And so anyway, I was looking at this table yesterday, when y'all all know the table story. And when I got through saving a couple and talking with this person back and forth, then I went into sinks, because that's what I always do. Seems like I always go to sinks or feed troughs. Those are the things I look for. So after scrolling down, not really seeing anything that was interesting to me, all of a sudden I come across a single basin. I wish it was a farm sink, but a single basin, porcelain over cast iron, with the holes already in the, so it's a drop in. It's not an undermount, it's a drop in, which is what I need. And the same size as what I have, but just one big basin instead of two. $75. And it looks good. And I know it's not an antique, but it's got that look. But it also has that grate, you know, it almost looks like a grill grate. It's what I think you put in the bottom of them to keep your cups and any glass things from hitting and breaking. Because Levi's done that before. He's dropped things in there and it's broken the sink. And it's got that little grate. Sits just a, you know, ½ inch up off the bottom. $75. And then I scroll to see where she's at. Oh my gosh, she's in Orange, Texas. I Google that because I know Orange, but I don't know where it's at. An hour and 45 minutes from us. She's actually up toward Beaumont. She's actually up toward where Jake is at, where their new property is up there. So anyway, I text her and someone's coming. And I just text her and I said, do you know if this is porcelain over cast iron? Because I didn't really want fiberglass or anything like that. I wanted something sturdy and that was going to last till this house falls apart and Jesus comes and we're gone and whatnot. She said she didn't really know, but she would ask her husband, but there was actually someone interested could she let me know if it falls through? And I said, yes, please. This afternoon, she sends me a message. Are you still interested in the sink? And I said, yes, I am. Did you find out if it was cast iron? If it was porcelain over cast iron? She said, and then I sent that. And then while I'm sending that, I'm thinking maybe she doesn't understand. So I said, if it is, it's going to be really, and I'm typing, it's going to be really heavy, you know, to pick up. And then as I'm sending that, another one pops in that says, it might be, I know it's extremely heavy. So then I just come back and say, oh my gosh, that's too funny. I want it. And I said I said, I can't come tomorrow, but I can come Friday. You're 2 hours from me. And she came back, so I'm thinking, well, she must have looked at my profile, because she came back and said, my husband's going to be in Cleveland tomorrow. Maybe I can get him to bring it, and you can look at it before you drive this far. I would love that, honestly. But I'm going to be in Houston tomorrow. That's why I said I couldn't come on Thursday. So I told her, I said, and I went ahead and I said, I'm going to be in Houston tomorrow. That's why I can't come tomorrow. I said, I went ahead and said, I said, my cousin has a doctor's appointment downtown Houston at Methodist Hospital, and I drive her to those. I said, so if he brings it and we're done and I'm home, then I will run to Cleveland and look at it and probably get it. But if not, I said, we're good with road trips here. And she came back with, and I said, we're good with road trips. I said, my son is autistic and he loves road trips. And then she come back and she said, LOL, awesome. And so now, if it works out and I get it, and I feel like I'm gonna get it, I feel like whether I get it tomorrow because he's still in Cleveland when I get done with Debbie and I'm home, then that's great. No road trip, and it's just ready and ho, and here we are, you know, get it and come home. But if it's a road trip on Friday, then y'all gonna come along with me. I don't know, I might get Bree, might get Steph. Anyway, we'll be possibly making a road trip to Orange, Texas on Friday. So, that being said, there is no wall finished in the bedroom. And another project that I've got to get done is a leaky faucet. So hopefully the sink will come into fruition, and then I will order me a new faucet. Hopefully this time maybe something a little bit better than Glacier Bay, or something that's going to hold up a little bit better. In fact, this one may not even be Glacier Bay, because I know that I ordered it off of Amazon, because off of eBay, because Home Depot and McCoy's were sky high, I thought, on their oil rub bronze faucets with the goosenecks. So I know that I ordered it from eBay. I mean, I know that was a long time ago, 2013, the beginning, early months of 2013 when I got the faucet, but still, I know it was eBay. There wasn't even Amazon then, I don't think. So anyway, but before Thanksgiving, I will have a new faucet in there, and possibly before Thanksgiving, I'm going to have a new sink and faucet that will not leak. And, so happy. So yeah, God has really blessed me on Marketplace lately. So, you guys keep me and Levi and Debbie in your prayers, because when y'all get this video at 7 o'clock, just know that 45 minutes later at 7:45, we're going to be headed to Houston. What? What? I don't know what you're saying, because you're mumbling, because you know you probably don't need it. What is it? He needs a haircut too, and I never did it. See, I can't keep things on the ball. I'm not on the ball lately. Anyway, so keep us in your prayers that it's an easy trip and everything is good with Debbie and we get home safe. And Either Friday, I'm going to be working in a bedroom on a wall and getting ready to put in a new sink, or y'all are going to be with us on a road trip.
Yeah.
One or the other. Something's going to happen on Friday. Y'all going to come along.
Road trip?
Your shirt's on inside, backwards. Anyway, we're gone. Levi, want to tell them goodbye?
Goodbye.
Where are you? I can't pull. Levi right here. Levi, here. Can you tell them bye?
Bye.
All right. There you go. What, baby? Now, I know what you're trying to tell me. You want a Dr. Pepper out of the pantry. But there's tea in there made now.
I think I drink the sandwich.
You drank what with your sandwich? Okay, I'm going to go before we have an argument on video. Love you guys. God bless y'all. See you later. Pray for us for tomorrow's trip. Houston trip. Katie, I'm trying to do a video.